stochastic and processes. Stochastic is about randomness, okay, just about randomness, absolutely nothing else. You toss a coin, whether it comes heads or tails, that is what stochasticity talks about. You take a die and roll a die, whether it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, that is what stochasticity talks about. Okay. Processes is what happens with time to that random variable. Okay. So, process talks about okay. For example, you take a die, you roll a die, you are playing say snakes and ladder. Okay. That rolling of the die will make you move your piece. Roll the die again, you move your piece again, roll the die again, you move your piece again, you roll the die again, you move your piece again. Okay. Say 10 times you have rolled your die. Each time that you have rolled a die, the value that comes is a realization of a random variable. Okay. When the value is 4 at time t equal to 1 or at move equal to 1, your value was 4, no longer is that random, that has now been realized. Okay. That is an important difference, realization and the randomness. What that meant was, right up to the time that you are rolling your die, all the 6 values were equally likely. It could have turned out 1, it could have turned out 5, it could have turned out 3, it happened to turn out 4, that is the realization. Okay. So, you rolled the die once, all 6 values were equally likely, turned out that the realization was 4. You rolled the die again, all 6 values were again equally likely, irrespective of what the first roll of die said. Okay. Again you made a move, you rolled a die third time, again all 6 values were equally likely, and based on the realization you made the move. Okay. So, you went from here, you went to the next step, you went to the one more step, so on and so forth. Finally, you landed up somewhere through those 3 steps and snakes and ladders that you met along the way. Where you reached, okay, is because of the snakes and ladder process. Okay. So, you had this stochastic variable that went through a particular process and you got another value. The values that you got after the process are also stochastic in nature, but those are result of going through the process. Okay. The roll of the die that happened at each time in this particular example happens to be independent of everything in the past. Okay. Roll of the die right now did not depend on the roll of the die previously, did not depend on the location of your whatever your piece. Okay. However much we want to think, I mean as a kid I used to and then throw the die, thinking that somehow blowing into the die, you did that, right? All of you did that. Somehow that will affect the stochastic process, though it does not. Neither does the position of your, we just believe it does, but yeah, right. So, this leads me to a definition white noise. Okay. Any noise that is uncorrelated in time. epsilon k is said to be white if its realization is independent of the realizations in the past, or its statistics is independent of the statistics in the past. Whiteness basically means correlation with time, but in addition to that, how does the value come out to be depends on what is the underlying nature of that stochastic process. And you would have heard the term Gaussian uniform. What else have you heard? Gaussian distribution, uniform distribution, chi-square. What else? Sorry? Poisson. Okay. Uniform is the example of roll of a die, it is an example of coin toss. What that means is any of those values were equally likely. So, Gaussian white noise means what? Okay. What Gaussian white noise means is that, let us say it is a Gaussian noise, white noise with a mean over here and certain standard deviation. What that means is that at each time epsilon will take a value based on a distribution like this. Okay. At each time this is the distribution. Okay. What value or what realization, sorry, I should be using this. What value actually you get at epsilon as epsilon 0 or epsilon 1 or epsilon 2 or epsilon 3 absolutely does not depend on any other epsilon values at all. Okay. It only depends on what the statistics are, and if it is a Gaussian white noise, its statistics are completely defined by two quantities, mean and standard deviation, or we will call as variance. Okay. That is the idea behind Gaussian. The idea behind white is that it is uncorrelated in time. Okay. Now, if we talk about the game of snakes and ladder, the outcome of the game, the position of your piece, that is not white. Okay. And because that position of the piece is moving in time, okay, it is something that is called a non-stationary process. Okay. So, lot of terms introduced today. In tomorrow's class, I am going to go over what white noise is, what Gaussian white noise is, what stochastic processes are, and then we will lead on to state estimation toward the end of tomorrow's lecture. So, we will restart from over here in tomorrow's class. E is called an expectation operator. Okay. So, if A x is any, I use x, x, y, u, w, we can w as weights, z I will use, z bar, if z is any stochastic variable, z bar is the expectation of the stochastic variable, what you also known as mean. Okay. I will just put it as z square. Yeah. Variance, you know it as standard deviation. The difference between variance and standard deviation, one is the square of the other, and you know where the root lies. So, I hope you know which one is the square and which one is the square root, right. Yeah. What that means is, let us say we have a stochastic variable z, it is going to take various values randomly. Okay. At time 0 is going to take value, let us say it is a Gaussian variable, then z is going to take a value from a Gaussian distribution at time 0. Okay. If we were to do this experiment 1000 times, okay, we take various values at time 0 and average them, what we are going to get is the mean, right. You take the various values, subtract the mean from it, square it and look at what that gives you, you are going to get the covariance. Divided by n minus 1, take a square root of that, you get the standard deviation, or you get the variance, divided by n minus 1, square root it, you are going to get the standard deviation, right. This is at time 0. Okay. Same thing at time 1. Assuming that it is a white noise, the realization at time 1, sorry, the overall random variable at time 1 is independent of what happens at time 0. Same thing at time 2. Same thing at time 3. Okay. You know what are all these bell curves that I am drawing, what they are called? Probability density functions or probability density distribution functions. What that means is, okay. Now, there are two types of, well, there are actually 4 types, but as far as we are concerned, we will talk about two different types of variables of interest. One is where the value is continuous, real numbered. One is where the value is discrete, not real numbered. Roll of a die, coin toss, these are examples of variables that are discrete, okay. And flow rate of water in a tank, that is an example of a value that is continuous, right. Why I said 4 is because this is about the y or z value, it is also about the time. Time can also be continuous or time can be discrete. We are working in discrete time, so that is why I said 2. Discrete time, you can have discrete z values or you can have continuous z values. Most of the time we are going to look at continuous set of z values, discrete in time. That is what we have been doing so far in this course. Okay. So, what that means is that the probability of a value lying between a and b is just an integral from a to b of that probability distribution function, right. You have done that before. Okay. So, this is an example of Gaussian white noise. Okay. So, if we were talking about the inlet to the tank, that inlet will be white, okay, but all not all noises need to be white, some noises can be colored. Okay. What would colored noise mean? The colored noise would mean that if you look at the outlet from the tank, the mean value will not shift, okay, and again this is probably something that would not be immediately clear. What we are saying is value is fluctuating around 10, sometimes it goes to 9.5, 10.2, 10.4, 9.3, 10.5, 10.1, 9.9, blah blah blah, but it is always fluctuating around 10. So, the value at the outlet will always fluctuate around that original value, okay, but it will not fluctuate in an uncorrelated manner, it will be correlated to some of the past values. Okay. So, the distribution might be Gaussian, but it might be correlated to what is happening in the past, okay, and that would be an example of a colored noise. Yeah, it can be a very, that is an example where the variance is very large. There are two things, right, mean and variance. If the mean is 10, let us say now the value from 10 has gone to 0.1, then it will go to 19.4, then it has gone to 9.5, then it went to 16.5, then it came to 4.5, all that, it does not matter, fluctuations in the outlet would be larger, but it will not go away from the mean if it is a colored noise. So, these two are examples of what we call stationary noises. What does stationary mean? Mean does not shift, okay, and then there was this question next, what if the mean is shifting, and that happens quite often. Simple example, if there is an uncertainty in the model, okay, the example that you took in your assignment 4, right, assignment 4 problem 1 was that there is a plant model mismatch. What does plant model mismatch mean? Plant model mismatch means that there is a difference in the mean of your y obtained from plant and y obtained from model. The only way to do that is to have your epsilon somehow capture mean shifts as well, okay, and the most straightforward way of capturing the mean shifts is what is known as an integrating white noise. So, this was with respect to the statistics. Let us look at the realizations. Okay, we are distinguishing signals from processes. Okay. If you look at white noise, might look something like this. you look at colored noise, it looks something like this. Okay, mean is not shifting. If you look at integrating white noise, might look something like this. The final thing that I wanted to cover about this is the definition of covariance. We will pause for a couple of minutes, let this sink in. Let us see if you have any questions. Several of the things that we have talked today and probably yesterday, you may not have quite understood it. Okay, it's unless you have done a probability and statistics course that you did well on. It's not a straightforward topic to get. The concept of realizations versus a random variable is not very straightforward to get. I mean, once you get it, we'll think, oh, okay. I mean, it's not it's reasonably obvious, but yeah, it's not when you're learning. At least it was not when I was learning. I don't know if others have other experiences. Just for convenience, what we are going to do is, well, not just convenience, all proofs are also based on that. Epsilon we will assume to be a zero mean Gaussian white noise sequence, okay. And if the mean is different from that zero mean, we will just add that value. So, for example, when we were talking about flow rate equal to 10 plus I mean varying around 10, then rather than saying epsilon has a mean this is how you represent Gaussian white noise, Gaussian noise, Gaussian noise, mean, standard deviation. We will not represent epsilon like this. Okay, we will represent epsilon 0 mean noise, and we will call our flow rate as f bar plus epsilon. Okay. Math unnecessarily gets complicated if you use this definition. It just gets simpler if you use this definition, and it fits in very well with the idea that we have been using, where x and y are deviation, x, y and u are deviation variables. Okay. They are not, you get into an affine model. Equivalent in ODEs, non-homogeneous models. You know that when you solved non-homogeneous, you first solved homogeneous and then you did something. Same stuff over here. You solve homogeneous and then just add that f bar value. So, you are always talking in terms of deviation from f bar. Okay, that's the funda. This is actually the easiest part of what what we have done today. This is not where students get stumped for the most part. Okay, it is the definition of mean definition of covariance, what white means, what colored means, what integrator means, when to use them, and the distinction between a random variable and the realization of random variables. Okay. And if you want to think about it, okay, if we were to zoom in into this region, these are realizations at time 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those realizations are drawn from these statistics. Okay. What you see over here, you can't see my hand, sorry about that. What you see over here is the random variable. What you are seeing over here is the realization of that random variable. Okay. The difference is, here we are talking about the statistics of that variable. Here we are talking about an actual value that variable obtained after the process happened or after the time step went by. What noise statistics you observe in the system are going to determine your sampling time. Okay. One. Second is the assumption over here. All of the things that we are doing, the assumption over there is that epsilon is Gaussian in the discrete time sense. That is the second assumption over here. The third assumption is the correlation that we are talking about is when we are talking in terms of a colored noise. Okay. Gaussian is uncorrelated. Okay. So, it does not matter whether you sample every 0.1 seconds, you have 1 second, 5 minutes. Okay. That is why at time 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 I am showing independent graphs. They are exactly the same one because it is white taken from that same Gaussian noise sequence with 0 mean and sigma 1 as the variance. Okay. So, the red curves, the intention that red curves should look the same, it probably do not, but the purple curves, purple violet curves, they look different. That's the intention over here. The red curves look the same, that means the statistics from which that value is drawn is the same statistics, right. So, they are uncorrelated in time. Correlation in time comes through what we assumed with respect to this model. Okay. And there is a formal proof that says that any colored noise delta can be represented as white noise passing through a stable process. Okay. There is a formal proof for that as well. So, what sampling interval you should take does not depend on epsilon, it actually depends on Gz. Okay. And actually let me not write it as Gz, let me write it as G epsilon z to just distinguish between plant models that we have been talking about and a model for colored noise. Okay. Things are clear until here?